Mr. Jon Stewart, didn't know he was a morning person, but he's up live right now. Good morning. Are you a morning person?
How are you?
I'm good. Better now that we have you.
In no way a morning person.
Okay, so we'll keep that in mind as we pelt you with questions here. So in reality, how much did a role, did his appearance on your show, do you know, play in him being condemned in Iran?
Not much. I mean, you have to look at it in the broader context of what was happening in the country at that time. It was right after the 2009 presidential election between Ahmadinejad and the more reformist candidate, Mousavi. And when the protests broke out over what people thought was a fraudulent result, there was a government crackdown that swept up hundreds, if not thousands of people. There was a good deal of violence that was occurring in the street, and people were shot and killed. And so it's not as though we felt like, oh, the Iranian government is cracking down on anybody who appears on the Daily Show. It was obviously a much broader crackdown of what they thought was the reformist movement in Iran.
So since he got out of prison, then you became friends with him. You found out what the story was. And is the story itself then about, oh, this regime and this one reporter, or is it about his experience of solitude?
Certainly that. I mean, you know, maybe it's also a message to authoritarian regimes that you shouldn't arrest reporters because they remember things. His memory for detail, for observation, just the training that he has, his ability to continue to amuse himself about the utter absurdity around him. I mean, it's a Kafka-esque situation. But also, you know, generations lost to this type of suppression. Maziar's father had been arrested by the Shah of Iran and tortured. Maziar's sister by Khomeini, and now Maziar by Khamenei. So these generations being lost to this similar story, all because they were politically active. And I think it also, beyond that, the way that information is changing, the way that technology has democratized who can be considered a journalist, citizen journalist, these regimes are spreading a much wider net because they're really 20th century dictatorships. They're accustomed to kind of controlling a newspaper, controlling a television station.
You know, it's heavy talk from a guy that we like to watch on the Daily. Oh, I'm sorry, you can hear me. I have like 20 seconds before I say goodbye to you, and as we say congrats on your movie, are you going to be on the Daily Show a couple of years from now? Isn't your contract out? What you going to be doing?
Are you firing me?
No, not at all. What's your plans for the future, I ask?
I got, man, like I say, I'm just hoping to wake up in about another hour. That's all I care about.
Short-term plans, short-term plans. Jon Stewart, thank you, and congrats on this movie.
Exactly.
All right, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you so much.